And today we are on 29th day of our series of 30 days, 30 topics, 30 programs. It's indeed a great pleasure for me to welcome all of you to this second last day of this session. And today, again, we have a very interesting subject. 29th day of the webinar series 30 days, 30 topics, 30 programs. Today's topic is why financial literacy is an absolute must for all members of boards of directors and senior management teams of every business across the globe. Across the globe. Why it is necessary that everyone who occupies a position on the board of directors of a company or who is a member of the senior management team or who wishes to be on the board of a company, why it is necessary for these people why it is necessary for these people to have financial literacy. That is the focus of the session that we have today. And as always, uh, we will have very interesting time together, friends, for next 1 hour. I want to ask you a question, and the question that I want to ask you is, you know what do you think? Which is the language people speak in the board meeting? So across the globe, whenever the board meetings are happening, which is the language that they speak? Do they speak German? Do they speak French? Do they speak Portuguese? Do they speak Spanish? Do they speak English or Mandarin or Hindi or any other language for that matter? And friends, let me tell you, the board of directors, whenever and wherever they have their meetings, they do not speak any of the languages that I have just mentioned. The language that they speak in the board meetings is a different language altogether. And this language is the language of finance. So when the board of directors meeting, how are they discussing? How are they conversing with each other in those board meetings? They are talking in terms of gross profit, EBITDA, EBIT, EBT, EPS, CEPS, capitalization rate, discounting rate, IRR, NPV, income approach, asset approach, market approach, YTM, duration, and so on and so forth. The current ratio, the debt equity ratio, the ROCE, EVA, ROI, ROE, these are the terms. This is the language which is spoken at the board of directors meeting, not in India, all over the world. पूरी दुनिया में जब भी कहीं कोई board meeting हो रही है, this is the language that they speak. Now the question is, what will happen to a person who is on the board of a company and who does not understand this language of finance? तो समझ के लीजिए कि एक कंपनी के board पे there is gentleman who is there as a board member and who does not understand this language of finance. What is going to happen to him? Obviously, this gentleman will find himself completely out of the place. And please remember, board meetings are a place of action. Board meetings are place of deliberation, discussion. Board meetings are place where big decisions are taken. And remember, anyone who is a board member, the least which is expected from him is that any discussion which is taking place in the board of directors meeting, this gentleman, every gentleman who's on the board of that company are able to make their own contribution to all the discussions and the deliberations and decisions which are being taken at the board meeting. But if I do not know the language of finance, obviously I will not be able to contribute much to the discussions and the deliberations which are happening at the board meeting. And therefore, even if I'm a board member, I would not really be able to fulfill my duty. I will not be able to fulfill my responsibilities. I will not be able to be an effective director on the board of a company. And that is precisely is the reason, friends, I thought of this session of covering various aspects of financial literacy, which is an absolute must for everyone who's on the board of directors of a company, so that he is able to contribute tremendously to the discussions and the deliberations of the board meeting. And please remember, अगर आप एक board के, if you are a member on the board of a company, and if you are finding yourself out of place because you do not understand the language of the board, then you will find it extremely frustrating. You will find it extremely frustrating because everybody else sitting in that room is contributing, discussing, deliberating, and coming out with a lot of thoughts and ideas, doing dissecting, analyzing, and looking, making vision for the company for future, making the budget and budgetary analysis, taking decisions about the capex, taking inorganic decisions, organic decisions, taking decisions about the restructuring of the company. वो सारे के सारे ये जो decisions हैं which are taken at the board meeting, all of them will involve the language of finance. And if a person is not able to understand and comprehend this language, then this person obviously will find it extremely frustrating. And please remember, if you are a board member, then the least that you are expected to do is be absolutely contributing to the discussions and the deliberations which are taking place in the board meeting. And friends, this session that we have today will help many of the people who are already on the boards of different companies or who aspire to be on the boards of the companies. And it would also help many people who may not be on the board of directors of the company, but by virtue of being senior management team, part of the senior management team of the organization, they are invited from time to time to come and attend the board meeting. And when they come and attend the board meeting, if they, that means doesn't really matter whether you're a board member or you're not a board member. The fact that you're invited to be part of the discussions and the deliberations of a board meeting, that means you are expected to know the language of finance. And therefore, this program will also help everyone who is also a member of senior management team of any company across the globe, any company across the globe. So what is the purpose that we have for this session, friends? So the purpose of this session is board of directors and members of senior management team have a big responsibility in success of any corporate organization. This is beyond any doubt, beyond any discussion, and this is the fact. Awareness of this responsibility is an absolute must for every board members. Friends, remember, there have been umpteen number of corporate failure, not only in India, but across the globe. And one reason as to why these corporate failures have taken place is primarily because people who were ought to know the language of finance and ensure that the company was following the good corporate governance, they failed to contribute, they failed to put the checks and balances, and as a result of that, things went on, keep on deteriorating, and a situation came that the company was finally had to go to NCLT or the company had to finally close down. And therefore, it is absolutely necessary for every board member to be aware of this responsibility that he has to work for the success of any corporate organization. Besides, the board members also need to have clarity about role and expectations of all stakeholders from them. So सीधी सी बात है, people who are on the board of companies, uh, all these stakeholders, they expect a lot from such board members because the board members are at the helms of the company. organization. And since they're at the helms of the organization, obviously it becomes their responsibility, their obligation, their duty, their liability to ensure that the expectations of all the stakeholders are taken care of, which effectively means that they must run the organization in a way that the organization is capable of taking care of expectations of all the stakeholders. As a matter of fact, as members of the board of companies, they have a big responsibility towards the entire economy. And friends, मैं ये बहुत कई बार कहता हूँ और ये मेरा ये firm belief है, as a board member and more so as an independent director on a board of a company, you do not represent a small shareholders or minority shareholder. As an independent director on the board of a company, you represent the entire economy on board of that company. So you can imagine the kind of responsibility that you have as an independent director. And remember, what is applicable to independent director is equally applicable to non-independent directors also. Therefore, they absolutely need to possess good financial literacy for being able to serve as an effective board member. And therefore, the purpose of this session is to empower and equip all the existing board members as well as those who wish to occupy the board positions in future with a clear-cut understanding as to what they ought to know for attaining financial literacy. So friends, this is the purpose that we have behind this session. As always, I thought it's always good to know as to why we have a particular program. तो ये प्रोग्राम के आज के प्रोग्राम से कौन कौन बेनिफिट होगा, और फ्रेंड्स मैं आपको बता दूं कि ये प्रोग्राम, many of you are watching this program live on Zoom or on Facebook or on YouTube, and many of you would also watch this session subsequently on all the social media, because it is all going to be uploaded on social media. And therefore it's better to know, it's good to know that to whom all this program will benefit. So number one, it will benefit all the existing board members as well as those who wish to occupy the board positions in near future. It will benefit all businessmen, members of top management teams of all businesses who in any case have the ultimate responsibility to realize purpose of the business. And what is the purpose of the business? We would discuss as we go on. This program is going to benefit practicing chartered accountants, cost accountants, company secretaries, and other professionals aspiring to serve on the boards of companies as independent directors. And because, why do I say this? I say this because as in one of my earlier sessions, I've explained as to today, in certain cases, for certain companies, appointment of independent director is mandatory. That means in case of all the listed companies, as per section 149 of the Companies Act, all the public listed companies, as per section 149, need to have at least 1/3 of the board, which comprises of independent directors. And this opportunity of being appointed as an independent director is open to many professionals. Chartered accountants, cost accountants, and company secretaries are part of them. And therefore, it will also benefit such professionals who wish to be appointed on the boards of different companies as independent director. Now, सवाल ये है friends कि what is financial literacy and what are we going to cover in this session today? So the financial literacy सबसे पहले है कि business का purpose क्या है. I think anyone who's on the board of a company as an independent director or non-independent director or promoter director, doesn't really matter as to what kind of director he is. Anyone who's on the board of the company, the first thing that needs to be understood as to what is the purpose of the business. Number two, we need to understand how the business empires are built. Remember, as the board member, the biggest responsibility of yours is to ensure that the organization on whose board you are, that organization grows and grows in many folds. And therefore, as the board member, we ought to know as to how the business empires are built. What is the mantra behind building of the business empires all across the globe? Then we need to look at the board of directors' roles and expectations from them. This is, I'm sure you can understand it very, very clearly, because सीधी सी बात है, अगर आप किसी कंपनी के बोर्ड पर हैं तो आपको मालूम होना चाहिए कि शेयर होल्डर्स का और बाकी जो स्टेक होल्डर्स हैं, what expectation they have from you. Or in other words, as an independent director, doesn't really matter independent or non-independent, because all directors are same uh, in the in real sense of it. And in a more purposeful manner, all directors are same. Really speaking, even the non-independent director should work as an independent director for the concept of the independent director, for the concept of the corporate governance to really fructify it. This is how it is. तो सारे डायरेक्टर्स को मालूम होना चाहिए कि what are the role that they have, what is the responsibility that they have. Gone are the days where the companies could appoint, any Tom, Dick, and Harry, the driver and the conductor and the gardener and the cook, as on the board of the company, just to ensure that they had the requisite number of the directors, uh, and have people who are yes men, so that they are able to do whatever they want to do. Those days are gone, and therefore it's absolutely necessary that we must be aware as to what are the role and expectations that the people have from us. Then, friends, we look at to be good in financial literacy. The next point that we need to understand is, what is oxygen of a business? What is oxygen of a business? What is the lifeline of a business? If I'm the director of a company, obviously the first thing that I need to know as to what is that. If it is not there, the business will come to grinding halt, and that is what we would look at as to what is oxygen of a business, or what is lifeline of a business. Then we look at, friends, understanding of profit and loss statement, obviously, because we are talking about the financial literacy for the directors, we are talking about the financial literacy for the members of the senior management team. And therefore, what we are trying to do is we are trying to explain to them as to what is of finance that they ought to know. So obviously, if they have to be financially literate, they need to have good understanding of profit and loss statement. They need to have a good understanding of balance sheet, and they obviously need to have a good understanding of the cash flow statement also. And this is what we would be discussing as we move forward. Friends, one thing I would like to tell you here, and a lot of people tell me, why do you say like this? Because I always say, whenever I'm doing a program, that finance is very easy to understand, and it is so easy and simple to apply. And people tell me, sir, what do you say? Why do you say that finance is so simple and so easy to apply? Because by saying so, you are undermining yourself, you are undervaluing yourself. And I said, no, I'm not undermining myself, I'm not undervaluing myself. It is my mission. It is my mission in life to spread the financial literacy to 1 billion people in this country. That is what is my mission. And I am having a lot of people getting added to it. And everybody is invited to be part of this mission. Mission one, financial literacy for 1 billion. So when I say that finance is easy to understand and simple to apply, I really mean it. I really mean it, because finance is not difficult at all. It's just that few people carry a mindset in their mind and they think, अरे बाप रे, फाइनेंस बहुत मुश्किल है. वो फाइनेंस को समझने के लिए सीए करना पड़ेगा, एमबीए करना पड़ेगा, कंपनी सेक्रेटरी का कोर्स करना पड़ेगा, कॉस्ट अकाउंटेंसी का कोर्स करना पड़ेगा, सीपीए का कोर्स करना पड़ेगा, सीआईएमए का कोर्स करना पड़ेगा, एमबीए करना पड़ेगा, एंड ऑल दैट एक्चुअली. वेयर द इफेक्ट ऑफ लाइफ इज, फ्रेंड्स, अगर दुनिया में सबसे आसान कोई चीज है तो वो है फाइनेंस. एंड व्हाई डू आई से दिस? मैं क्यों कहता हूं ऐसा? कि वो लोग जो बोर्ड पोजीशन ऑक्यूपाई करते हैं, obviously they reach to the board level positions because they have other competencies, and they have other competencies. Those competencies need to be further supplemented with the knowledge of finance. And I tell them that finance is very easy to understand and simple to apply, so that they come to this session with an open mind. They don't come with us with to these sessions with a fear, oh my god, where am I going? No, finance is the easiest thing to understand on this earth. And why do I say this? पैसे की भाषा है, सबको समझती है और बराबर समझती है. पढ़े को भी समझती है और अनपढ़ को भी समझती है, और जो जितना ज्यादा अनपढ़ हो उसको उतनी ज्यादा समझती है. To give you another example, friends, the best of the finance brains that have ever existed on this earth never had any formal qualification or formal education in finance. Bill Gates is a classic example. Dhirubhai Ambani is another classic example. Ghanshyam Das Ji Birla, he is not a chartered accountant. He is not a commerce. He is not a, MBA or any of those qualifications. But they are wizards as far as finance is concerned. They are wizards as far as the finance is concerned. Why? Because finance, please remember, is less a matter of knowledge and more a matter of attitude. Finance is less a matter of knowledge, more of a matter of attitude. When I say that finance is very easy and simple to understand and apply, this is what I mean when I say this, because आपको आपको सिर्फ और सिर्फ थोड़ा ओपन माइंड रखना है, और ओपन माइंड आप रखेंगे तो ऑटोमेटिकली पी एंड एल क्या है, बैलेंस शीट क्या है, कैश फ्लो क्या है, फाइनेंशियल एनालिसिस क्या है, एंड ऑल दोज रेशियोज दैट आई स्पोक इन द बिगिनिंग, व्हाट आर दोज, you will very easily understand them. And remember, not only you will very easily understand them, you will see, जो आप नोटिस करेंगे, दिस इज व्हाट इज माय एक्सपीरियंस, आई हैव बीन डूइंग कोचिंग फॉर लॉट ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड, पूरी दुनिया में बहुत सारे डायरेक्टर्स को, बहुत सारे सीनियर मेंबर्स को आई हैव बीन कोचिंग ऑन द फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी. And friends, this is the continuous feedback that I receive from all of them without any exception. Without any exception, the continuous feedback that I receive, that the very first meeting that they would attend after attending my session, and they would give me a call and send me a mail or send me a message saying that today when I attended my board meeting of my company, after attending your coaching session, my experience of attending the board meeting is completely different, because today I was completely entirely for the whole period was part of the entire board meeting. In the past I would come to the board meeting and would keep on looking my watch as to कब टाइम खत्म होगा, कब बोर्ड मीटिंग खत्म होगी, and कब मैं लंच के लिए सबके साथ में बाहर जाऊंगा. That is what would happen. But today they would say was first time that I was not only understanding everything that was being discussed in the board meeting, but I was also continuously contributing. And not only continuously contributing, but I'm able to apply my mind, and I can feel that confidence that I'm going to be much more useful, much more effective, much more efficient, and will be much more value adding director on the board of this company than it was earlier. So that is the reason, friends, I always mention in all my programs कि finance बहुत easy है. और मैं सही बताऊं तो फाइनेंस ही नहीं, ये दुनिया में सारी चीजें बहुत ईजी हैं समझने के लिए. इस दुनिया में कुछ भी मुश्किल नहीं है, कुछ भी मुश्किल नहीं है इस दुनिया में समझने के लिए. सब कुछ आसान है, सब कुछ आसान है. वो खाली किस पे डिपेंड करता है, खाली आपके माइंडसेट पे डिपेंड करता है. तो एज ए मैटर ऑफ फैक्ट, whenever I am doing any program, and I have got about more than 100 program, more than 100 training programs that I have. So whenever I am doing program, I don't know, somehow when I start the program, the first thing that comes out of my mouth is, or from my mind is, कि भाई ये whatever we are discussing very easy to understand, and it is really very easy to understand. So all of you who are watching this program now, or who would be listening or watching this program later on offline, remember finance is very easy to understand and have that mindset. So हम लोग क्या करेंगे, we'll talk about the P&L कि P&L क्या है, we'll talk about the balance sheet, what is balance sheet, and we will also talk about the cash flow statement. Remember, my focus in all my sessions is not in sharing the knowledge. My focus always in these programs is to look at these programs from the application point of view. Application point of view, यानी कि जो भी आप सीख रहे हैं इस प्रोग्राम में, you should be able to immediately apply it in your everyday life. That is the focus that I have in this program. So we would look at all these three statements. Then we will understand what is the relationship between the P&L, balance sheet and cash flow. यानी कि ये जो तीनों स्टेटमेंट हैं और जो कि एक दूसरे को अफेक्ट करते हैं, ऑब्वियसली उन तीनों में क्या रिलेशनशिप है, राइट? वी विल अंडरस्टैंड दैट रिलेशनशिप. एंड देन ऑफ कोर्स विल कम टू द फाइनेंशियल एनालिसिस. तो वो डेट इक्विटी रेशियो क्या है, करंट रेशियो क्या है, करंट रेशियो को देख के मुझे कैसे मालूम पड़ेगा कि मेरी कंपनी का वर्किंग कैपिटल मैनेजमेंट कैसा है, डेट इक्विटी रेशियो को देख के मुझे कैसे मालूम पड़ेगा कि मेरी कंपनी की फाइनेंशियल रिस्क कैसी है. That is what we will understand as part of the financial analysis and decision making. So those of you who may have any question during this process of the session, you're most welcome to write your questions and queries in the chat box, and I would be very happy to take them at the end of this session. So let's come to the first point, friends, and that is, what is purpose of a business? Now, this is something every board member has to be completely clear. And why everybody has to be completely clear as to what is the purpose of a business? Because if you are clear about what is purpose of a business, remember, for you, decision making becomes very easy. And not only decision making becomes very easy, you are able to contribute much more to the discussions and the deliberations which are taking place during board meeting of a company. So what is the purpose of a business? And friends, remember, the purpose of a business whenever I do these workshops all over the globe, and I've delivered all these programs in more than 50 locations across 5 continents. So I deliver these programs in Americas, Europe, Russia, Asia, Africa, Middle East, everywhere. So whenever I would ask this question as to what is the purpose of a business, most people would answer that the purpose of a business is to make profit. And let me tell you, friends, that is not the right answer. That is not the right answer. Purpose of a business is not to make profit. Why do I say this, that the purpose of a business is not to make profit? I say so because, remember, making purpose in a business is compulsory, is non-negotiable, is mandatory. It's not a matter of a choice. So when it is not a matter of a choice, it's not the purpose of a business. Then what is the purpose of a business? The purpose of a business is to create value. Is to create value. पूरी दुनिया में जितने भी बिजनेसेस हैं, अल्टीमेटली उनका एक ही मकसद है, एक ही पर्पस है. वो लोग समझें या ना समझें ये बात अलग है, बट फैक्ट ऑफ लाइफ इज द पर्पस ऑफ बिजनेस इज टू क्रिएट वैल्यू, is to create value, is to create value by making ethical profits. So purpose of a business is to purpose of a business is to create value by making ethical profits, or you can reword it and you can say purpose of a business is to make ethical profits by creating value. Now this is the purpose of a business पूरी दुनिया में, पूरी दुनिया में. अब ये बात अलग है कि कुछ बिजनेसमैन इस बात को कॉन्शियसली समझते नहीं है, but they are still creating tremendous value. They are still creating tremendous value. And everybody remember, everyone in business who creates value, that businessman is bound to grow. Tatas have grown. Why? Because they have been creating value. Birlas have grown by more than a century because they have been creating value. So anybody and everybody who would create value, he will obviously become like Tatas and Birlas one day. But anyone who is focusing on profit, and that too profit by hook or crook, remember what will happen to him. He will have to sit in London. दुनिया हिंदुस्तान से भाग के जाना पड़ेगा और लंदन में जाके बैठना पड़ेगा, चोरों की तरह, भगोड़ों की तरह. Why? Because the focus was not on creating value. The focus was on making profit by hook or crook. And remember, that is not the purpose of a business. Purpose of a business, remember, इसको ठोक के अपने दिमाग में पूरी तरह से उसको बिठा लीजिए कि purpose of a business is to create value by making ethical profits, or making ethical profits by creating value. Either way, if you have this belief, if you have this thought about what is the purpose of a business, I can tell you your journey as a board member is really going to be extremely satisfying, extremely meaningful, extremely purposeful. Not only that, you would be able to contribute much more when you are there on the board of a company, and you will get a lot more invitations from rest of the people. Please come and join our board also, because we get information that you are adding tremendous value. So that is the purpose of a business, that is to create value by making ethical profits, or making ethical profits by creating value. Creating value का मतलब क्या है? To make this world a better place to live. That is the meaning of creating value. यानी कि ये दुनिया को पहले से बेहतर बनाना, that is creating value. And please remember, गलती से भी ये मत सोचना कि अगर मैं आपको बोल रहा हूं कि पर्पस ऑफ द बिजनेस इज नॉट टू मेक प्रॉफिट, पर्पस ऑफ द बिजनेस इज टू क्रिएट वैल्यू, तो अगर आप वैल्यू क्रिएट करोगे तो आपको पैसा नहीं मिलेगा. रॉन्ग, कंप्लीटली रॉन्ग. प्लीज रिमेंबर, एनीवन हु क्रिएट्स वैल्यू गेट्स वैल्यू. एनीवन who creates value gets value. Anyone who creates value becomes valuable. तो कई बार लोग आके मुझसे पूछते हैं कि सर काम तो बहुत करते हैं कंपनी में, घंटों काम करते हैं, दिन भर काम करते हैं, लेकिन वैल्यू नहीं मिलती है. तो मैं उनसे पूछता हूं कि अपने आप से एक सवाल पूछिए कि आप जो भी काम कर रहे हैं उस काम से आप क्या वैल्यू ऐड कर रहे हैं बिजनेस में. आर यू एबल टू आइडेंटिफाई the value that you are creating or adding in the business? If you're not able to identify the value that you're creating or adding to the business, obviously you're not doing something which is worth his while. Obviously you're not adding value. Since you're not adding value, you're not becoming valuable. Since you're not becoming valuable, you're not getting value. Since you're not getting value, nobody is coming and asking for your opinion or for your advice. So remember, the purpose of a business is to create value. Every business has to create value. Every businessman has to work to create value. And every director also has to work for creating value. And this is the first step in the financial literacy. Financial literacy का मतलब खाली P&L बैलेंस शीट नहीं है. Financial literacy का मतलब है to appreciate the value of value creation, to appreciate the value of value creation. That is the first step in the financial literacy. So that is the purpose of a business. Now the second question is how the business empires are built. Now the answer to this question as to how the business empires are built, we will need to ask ourselves, how do you create value? And you create value how? You create value by converting resources into result and result into resources. क्या मतलब है इसका? इसका मतलब यह है कि आज से 100 साल से भी पहले की बात, पहले 100 साल से भी ज्यादा पुरानी बात है. Jamsetji Tata, the founder of Tata Empire that we see today, Jamsetji Tata set up a world-class steel plant during those days. So what was Jamsetji Tata was doing? Jamsetji Tata was converting his resources into result. What was the resource? The capital that he had, the knowledge that he had, the drive that he had. So he converted all that into a result. And what was the result? The result was a world-class steel plant during those days. So how do you create value? You create value by converting resources into result and then result into resources. क्या मतलब है इसका? इसका मतलब है कि आपने अपनी कैपिटल लगा के, मेहनत करके और अपनी एनर्जी को यूज करके आपने एक दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा प्लांट बनाया. अब आप क्या करिए? आप उसको यूज करिए, उसको चलाइए, चला के आप स्टील बनाइए, स्टील बना के आप मार्केट में बेचिए, मार्केट में बेचेंगे तो आपको पैसा मिलेगा. पैसा मिलेगा, इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि नाउ यू आर कन्वर्टिंग रिजल्ट इनटू रिसोर्सेस. सो हाउ द एम्पायर्स आर बिल्ट अक्रॉस द ग्लोब, जितनी भी दुनिया में एम्पायर्स हैं, हाउ दे हैव बीन बिल्ट बाय फॉलोइंग दिस सिंपल मंत्रा ऑफ कन्वर्टिंग रिसोर्सेज इनटू रिजल्ट एंड रिजल्ट इनटू रिसोर्सेज. क्या मतलब है? आज टाटा जो एम्पायर है दैट वी सी टुडे, हाउ हैज इट बिकम सो बिग? It has become so big because Jamshedji Tata laid the foundation of a factory. And then what he did, from the factory, he started generating more money. And then he kept on repeating this cycle time and again, time and again, and time and again, and time and again. And that is how we see the Tata Empire. How do we see the Birla Empire? Ghanshyam Das ji did the same thing. So initially he converted his capital into his resources into result. पहली फैक्ट्री डाल के उसको चलाया, उससे प्रॉफिट बनाया यानी कि और रिसोर्स जनरेट किए, और रिसोर्स को जनरेट करके फिर और फैक्ट्री डाली. एंड दिस इज हाउ ही केप्ट ऑन डूइंग इट. एंड रिमेंबर दैट इज हाउ द बिजनेस एम्पायर्स आर बिल्ट. That is the second thing that every board member has to understand. Every member of the senior management team has to understand. If the empire has to be built, then the mantra is converting resources into results and result into resources. That is the only mantra. And if you follow that mantra, you will become an empire. And if you stop that mantra, if you break that cycle, somewhere, then you will go be part of the history. So that is the second thing, friends. So number one is to be good, financially literate. Number one, what we need to understand as to what is the purpose of the business. Number two, what we need to understand as to how the empires are built, and how the empires are built. Empires are built by following the simple mantra of converting resources into result and result into resources. That means what? That means जिस कंपनी के बोर्ड पर आप हो, आपका क्या काम है? आपका ये काम है कि वो कंपनी should follow this mantra of converting resources into result and result into resources time and again. And if they keep on doing it, then they become a big business empire. Now, the question that should come to your mind as a board member as to why should I worry about creating value? And you should create value so that you are able to make positive difference in others' life. Please remember, business क्या है? Business is not an opportunity to create wealth for yourself. Business is an opportunity to create the humanity. पूरी दुनिया है, दुनिया में लोग हैं, दुनिया में लोगों का जीना जरूरी है, लोगों का जीना जरूरी है, लोगों का जीवन जीना होना जरूरी है, लोगों का जीवन कंफर्टेबल होना जरूरी है। तो लोगों का जीवन कंफर्टेबल हो, इसके लिए कुदरत ने इतनी सारी चीजें खड़ी करी हैं, और इतनी सारी चीजें खड़ी करने के साथ साथ कुदरत ने और क्या किया, कुदरत ने आदमी को दिमाग भी दिया है। वो दिमाग किस लिए दिया है? वो दिमाग इसलिए दिया है ताकि आदमी उस दिमाग का इस्तेमाल करके जो कुदरत की जो जो खैरातें हमको मिली हैं उस सबको कन्वर्ट करे इन टर्म्स टू डिफरेंट प्रोडक्ट्स। एंड क्यों कन्वर्ट करे? ताकि लोगों का जीवन और आसान हो। So why you have to create value? Why do you have to worry about creation of value as a board member, as a company, as a businessman? Because that is the responsibility. That is our obligation. So remember, being on a board of a company is not a matter of privilege or prerogative or an honor. As a matter of fact, being on the board of a company is an obligation, is a liability, is a duty, is a responsibility. But if you discharge that duty, responsibility, obligation, then it becomes an honor. Then you can take a pride in saying that I am on board of this company, and because of my involvement and commitment and dedication, this company is doing well today. So why do you create value? You create value because you want to make this world a better place to live. You want to bring a smile on the faces of so many people. And why do you want to do that? Because God has given you the capability. God has given you the competency. God has placed you in that position from where you can do all this. Otherwise, remember, God could also make you a pauper, a person who does not have enough money to feed himself on both times a day. So वो भी हो सकता था। तो वो नहीं है आपके साथ में, आप एक ऐसी पोजीशन में हैं जब आप एक कंपनी के बोर्ड पर हैं, तो इसका मतलब क्या है कि आप प्रिविलेज्ड हैं। आपको क्वालिफिकेशन है, नॉलेज है, एक्सपर्टीज है, अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, इस्तेमाल करिए उसका। किसके लिए इस्तेमाल करिए? टू क्रिएट मोर वैल्यू, to make this world a better place to live. And remember, when you do this, you are truly a leader. And why you are truly a leader? Because then everybody starts following you. That look, this is how it should be, and this is how everybody will follow you, and then you become a leader. So why create value? You create value because you want this world to become a better place to live. And so then we move to the roles and expectations from the directors. अब हम क्या करेंगे? हमने क्या समझा? पहली बात हमने समझी कि पर्पस ऑफ बिजनेस क्या है। दूसरी बात हमने समझी कि how to build business empires, और तीसरी बात जो हमने समझी वो ये कि why to create value. And now let us be more specific and understand as to what are your specific role and responsibilities as a board member. So number one, एज अ बोर्ड मेंबर, अगर मैं एक कंपनी के बोर्ड पर हूं तो इसका मतलब मेरा सबसे बड़ी जिम्मेदारी क्या है? टू प्रोवाइड विजन, टू प्रोवाइड विजन टू द कंपनी, गिव डायरेक्शन इन अचीविंग दैट विजन, extend supervision. So I give vision, then I give direction, and then I also give supervision, because I am giving direction, but at the same time, it's as a board member. Remember, I do not have to do it personally, but with involvement of all people, the involvement of the executive team, I have to give extend supervision and tell them in case things are going wrong, then I need to ensure that those are brought on the right track. Ensure control in realization of value creation with risk management through corporate governance and necessary compliance as country's representative, taking it as an opportunity for self-realization as per Maslow's need hierarchy. So if I am going on the board of a company, I should not go on the board of a company thinking that I will get a sitting fees, thinking that I will get big remuneration, thinking that I will have the luxuries of being on the board of a company. I should go on the board of a company thinking that it's an opportunity for me of self-actualization. It is an opportunity for me of self-realization. I am going on the board of a company because I am at a point in my life where all my financial requirements, financial obligations have already been taken care of. Therefore, without having any financial worries in my mind, I can completely devote and dedicate myself for the cause of the company, for the mission of the company, for the vision of the company, and make sure this company becomes a blue chip company, adding tremendous value for the economy of the country. And this is how we should look at our role and responsibility as far as the financial literacy is concerned. So I will repeat it once again. The 10 roles that we have, 10 roles and responsibilities that we have as board member. Number one, to provide vision. Number two, to give direction. Number three, to extend supervision. Number four, to ensure control. Number five, in realization of value creation. Number six, with risk management. Number seven, through corporate governance. Number eight, with necessary compliance. Number nine, as a representative of country's economy. And number 10, taking it as an opportunity for self-actualization, self-realization as per the Maslow's need hierarchy. Remember, I'm giving you an example of Maslow's need hierarchy because most of us have read about the Maslow's need hierarchy, but what Maslow talked about the need hierarchy is very much given in our own Gita. So really speaking, it is all coming from Gita. So Gita also tells the same thing, that you should ultimately reach to a point when you are able to do the self actualization, self realization, यानी कि आपका जो पूरा पोटेंशियल है, आपकी जो पूरी क्षमता है, आप अपना जीवन उसके हिसाब से जी पाए. So friends, these are the 10 roles and responsibilities and expectations from the board members by all the stakeholders of the company. And that is what we need to understand as far as the financial literacy is concerned. The next thing is we need to understand what is lifeline of a business. And remember, friends, it's very important for us to understand as to what is lifeline of a business. Now, given a choice, if we were to in a face-to-face program, in a workshop, then of course I would ask you this question as to what is lifeline of a business, and because this is very, very important actually. Now, most people would think that technology is the lifeline, customer is the lifeline, people are the lifeline, leadership is the lifeline, and so on and so forth. Raw material is lifeline, plant and machinery is lifeline, so on and so forth. But remember, the lifeline of a business, and I can come straight to the point without really going around about it, the lifeline of any business is cash profit. Lifeline of a business is cash profit. Meaning what? Meaning profit which is earned by the business and which is available in the hands of the business for it to be used by the business. That is cash profit. What will give a long life to a business? Please remember, what will give a long life to a business? Loan will not give a long life to business. Remember, borrowings can help a business in flaring the growth of the business. But loan will not give a long life to a business. Why loan will not give you a long life to business? Because how long can somebody will keep on giving you loan? कोई आदमी आपको कब तक लोन देगा? एक बार देगा, दो बार देगा, तीन बार देगा, और चौथी बार जब वो देखेगा कि सब कुछ करने के बावजूद ही अभी भी आप लॉस ही कर रहे हो, तो वो आदमी आपको लोन नहीं देगा, बल्कि आपकी कंपनी को एनसीएलटी में लेके जाएगा. So the borrowings will not give long life to a business. So what will give long life to a business? And remember, as a board member, this is what we need to understand. What will give long life to a business is the cash profit. Meaning what? Meaning the profit which is coming from the operations of the company and which is available with the company for the company to use in any way in which it would like to use. And that is lifeline of a business. Meaning what? Meaning as a board member, whenever the board meetings are taking place, or whenever if you are a member of any other committee for that matter, what you need to focus on continuously is on cash profit. Remember, profit is okay, but profit is only on paper. Cash is the real king. Cash is the king. So be aware. Financial literacy का मतलब क्या है? Financial literacy का मतलब है be aware of the fact, and that is cash profit. Cash profit. And that is the oxygen of a business. समझ सकते हैं आप? अगर एक business, if a business is not earning cash profit, can it remain alive for a long time? Answer is no. Answer is no, because if the business is not earning cash profit, remember what will run the business? The cash will run the business. So long as the business is having cash profit, the business will keep on running. The moment business ceases to have the cash profit, it can pull for some time with the borrowed capital, but with the borrowed capital, it will not be able to go for a long time. It will stop, cease, and close. And that is what the thing that we need to understand as the board member, and that is lifeline of a business is cash profit. Cash profit. Now we understand what is the profit and loss statement for decision making. And remember what we need to understand, just few things. Number one, sales, which is also known as top line. From the sales, you minus the material cost and the manufacturing expenses. What you get in your hand is known as gross profit. From this gross profit, you minus the SG&A, selling, general and administrative expenses. What is left in your hand is known as EBITDA. EBITDA is also known as cash operating profit. And why it is known as cash operating profit? Because EBITDA is the amount which is coming in your hand as cash from the operations of the company. And that is why EBITDA. EBITDA is very important because ultimately, remember, lifeline of a business is cash. EBITDA is cash profit. That means if the EBITDA of a business is very good, that business will have a very good life and very good valuation. If the EBITDA is weak, that the business is likely to close sooner than later. From the EBITDA, what you do, you minus the depreciation and amortization. What you get in your hand is known as EBIT, that is earning before interest and tax, which is also known as operating profit. From the EBIT, what do you minus? You minus the interest or the finance cost. Same thing. So you call it interest or you call it finance cost is more or less same. And therefore, so EBIT minus interest, what you get in your hand is EBT, earning before tax. From the EBT, you minus the tax, and what you get in your hand is EAT, earning after tax. That means so much of the profit which is available, which is you have earned after paying the tax. EAT, why it is called as EAT? It is called as EAT because only in case if a business has EAT which is positive, the business will be able to eat and not otherwise. And that is your EAT. EAT is also known as net income. It is also known as profit after tax. It is also known as net profit. It is also known as bottom line. And why it is known as bottom line? Because this is the figure which is appearing in the bottom of the P&L statement. And that is the reason why EAT is also referred as bottom line. So this, my friends, is the profit and loss statement that we need to be aware for the purpose of being an effective board member, for being a financially literate board member. Now, where we need to focus? Now we need to focus as a director. जब आपके सामने, जब आप बोर्ड मीटिंग में बैठे हैं और आपके सामने फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स कंपनी के आए हैं, तो क्या देखना है आपको? You have to see what is the gross profit, what is the EBITDA, what is the EBIT, what is the EBT, and what is the EAT. And see, are these numbers improving or these numbers are going down? So if the numbers are improving, it's a good sign. But if the numbers are going down, that means it's a bad sign. That means something needs to be done. That means you need to ask as to what company is doing to ensure that these numbers become better. So this is your profit and loss statement. And then we look at the balance sheet. So balance sheet, friends, has got two sides. It has got two sides, liability side and the asset side. In liability, is external and the internal liability. Now, what is internal liability? So the money which is put in by the shareholders as equity share capital or as preference share capital, or the profits which are plowed back into the business, are all put together, referred as internal liability or shareholders capital or shareholders equity. So this is how, this is first part. Then you have an external liability. So what is external liability? That means money that you owe to outsiders. And money that you can owe to outsiders can be of two types: non-current and current. So that means what is non-current? What is current? What is a current liability? Something that you need to pay to someone in business within a period of 12 months. It is referred as current liability. As simple as that. And what is a non-current liability? A liability which is not a current liability is a non-current liability. Meaning what? Meaning a money that the business has to pay to somebody beyond a period of 12 months. That is referred as non-current liability. So on the liability side, you will have the equity, you will have the non-current liabilities, and you will have the current liabilities. All of them put together are supposed to be the total liabilities of the business. On the asset sides, you have non-current assets and you have a current assets. So what is the current assets? Current assets are those assets which are expected to get converted into cash within a period of 1 month. Now they are known as current assets because they are flowing like current. You know, cash जो पैसा है जो बिजनेस में आता है, एक बार बिजनेस में आ गया तो क्या वो बिजनेस में बना रहता है? नहीं, वो बिजनेस में बना नहीं रहता है, वो घूमते रहता है, आते रहता है, जाते रहता है, आते रहता है, जाते रहता है, आते रहता है, जाते रहता है. That is what is known as current assets because it is flowing. Inventory, does it come and stay permanently in the business? No. It comes, gets converted into finished goods and sold out, and again more raw material coming in, and that is how it is known as current. So current liabilities are those liabilities which are expected to get converted into cash within a period of 1 year. What are non-current liabilities? Non-current liabilities are those non-current assets. What are the non-current assets? Non-current assets are those assets which are there in the business permanently and which are used for converting the current assets into cash. So land, building, plant and machinery, all these assets are used for what? All these assets are used for converting the raw material into finished product, and this finished product is sold in the market, and then market customer pays you cash, and this is how the current assets are getting converted into cash. So this is your difference between the current assets and the current liabilities. So what is a balance sheet? Balance sheet is a statement of your assets and liabilities. And remember, दुनिया में आप कहीं भी चले जाइए, किसी भी कंपनी की बैलेंस शीट उठा के देखिए, लॉस मेकिंग कंपनी हो, प्रॉफिट मेकिंग कंपनी हो, गवर्नमेंट कंपनी हो, प्राइवेट कंपनी हो, सारी कंपनियों की बैलेंस शीट, द टोटल ऑफ द एसेट्स एंड द लायबिलिटीज विल ऑलवेज बी द सेम. इट हैज टू बी द सेम. देयर इज नो मैजिक. देयर इज एब्सोल्युटली नो मैजिक. अब सवाल ये है कि अगर सारी कंपनियों के बैलेंस शीट्स के जो टोटल हैं एसेट्स के और लायबिलिटीज के, अगर वो सब जगह सेम है, तो फिर ये कैसे मालूम पड़ेगा कि कौन सी बैलेंस शीट अच्छी है और कौन सी बैलेंस शीट अच्छी नहीं है? So remember friends, if a company is making profit, then this company will do what with that profit? This company will do two things with that profit. Number one, it will give part of the profit to the shareholders as dividend and plow back part of the profits back into the business. And remember, प्लो बैक का मतलब क्या है? प्लो बैक का मतलब ये है कि जो समझो से फॉर एग्जांपल 100 करोड़ का प्रॉफिट कमाया, 20 करोड़ का जो प्रॉफिट था वो शेयर होल्डर्स को डिविडेंड करके दे दिया, 80 करोड़ का जो प्रॉफिट है वो बिजनेस में प्लो बैक किया. प्लो बैक किया मतलब क्या है? कैपेसिटी एक्सपेंड करी, डाइवर्सिफिकेशन किया, मॉडर्नाइजेशन किया, बॉटलनेक रिमूव करे. सो ऑल दैट कंपनी वुड डू विद दैट 80 करोड़. Remember, what will happen with that 80 crore? The company will add more assets. So the company adds more assets, then what happens? Company is increasing the revenue earning capacity. If the company is increasing the revenue earning capacity, that means in future, company will generate more sales. Company will generate more sales, company will generate more profit. Company will generate more profit, company will be able to pay more dividend to the shareholders. Company will be able to pay more dividend to the shareholders. Company will be able to further deploy more money into the business for doing further expansion and further diversification. So obviously एक कंपनी जो प्रॉफिट कर रही है उसकी बैलेंस शीट हमेशा स्ट्रांग होगी, और एक कंपनी जो लॉस कर रही है उसकी बैलेंस शीट, even though total of the assets and the liability sides are always the same. So this is how you will figure out as to how to find out whether it's a good balance sheet or it's a bad balance sheet. Now, how to use the relationship between the balance sheet and the P&L. And then in between you have a cash flow statement also. Cash flow statement tells you what? It tells you from where the cash is coming into the business and where the cash going out in the business. अब देखिए कैसे मालूम करेंगे कि कंपनी का कैश फ्लो अच्छा है कि बुरा है? It's very simple. And this is how I always love to say it is very simple, because it is really very simple. So how to figure out whether it is a good cash flow or bad cash flow? Very simple. If the cash which is coming inside the business is more than the cash which is going outside, it's a good cash flow. It's a good companies and good cash flow situation. But if the cash flow coming in is less and cash outflow is more, then it's a bad cash flow, isn't it? And this is how you look at the cash flow statement, friends. And that is the reason why I keep saying time and again that finance is very easy to understand. Not only is very easy to understand, it's very easy to apply also. Just have that openness कि नहीं यार मुझे तो financial wizard बनना ही बनना है. And believe me, I can tell you, for becoming a finance wizard, you do not have to be a chartered accountant, cost accountant, company secretary, or MBA or any other formal qualification. It is not necessary at all. You just need to have a 2-day session, 3-day session with someone who is an expert in finance and just spend 2-3 days with him, and that person would really make you absolutely comfortable as far as finance is concerned. So अब तीसरा जो फाइनल जो पॉइंट है वो है हाउ टू use the balance sheet and the P&L, and you use the balance sheet and P&L by calculating different ratios. So you can calculate financial ratio, you can calculate the number one, you calculate the performance ratio, and then liquidity ratio, and then efficiency ratio, and finally the financial risk ratio. अब देखिए ये मैं आपके साथ में डिस्कस कर रहा हूँ जो मैं आपके साथ में डिस्कस कर रहा हूँ. एंड जो ब्रॉड फ्रेमवर्क है वो उतना ही है, पर ये मास्टर की है. ये अगर आपने ये सब कुछ समझ लिया तो आपके हाथ में मास्टर की आ गई. अब ये मास्टर की से आप दुनिया भर के फाइनेंस के ताले खोल पाओगे. I can tell you that much with full confidence based on the feedback and the interaction and the interface that I have had with people across the globe. तो 4 रेशियोज हैं, बहुत हैं, ये तो रेशियोज काफी सारे हैं, लेकिन अगर आप ये 4 रेशियोज समझ गए तो इसका मतलब आपके हाथ में मास्टर की आ गई. कौन कौन से रेशियोज हैं? पहला है प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी, ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट रेशियो. तो ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट डिवाइडेड बाय सेल्स इनटू 100 इज योर ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट. Liquidity ratio will give you the current ratio. Efficiency ratios. Efficiency ratios, so sales divided by total assets. उससे मालूम पड़ेगा कि how efficiently the company is using the assets. And finally, financial risk analysis, debt equity ratio, debt divided by equity. यानी कि जो पैसा बाहर से लिया हुआ है divided by the equity which is shareholders capital. This ratio will tell you as to how is the financial risk of your business. अब ये रेशियोज को कैसे इस्तेमाल करेंगे? ये रेशियोज को 4 तरीके से इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं कि आप अपनी कंपनी का ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट रेशियो कैलकुलेट करिए और अपनी कंपनी के ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट रेशियो को या करंट रेशियो को या एफिशिएंसी रेशियो को या डेट इक्विटी रेशियो को, जो भी आपने कैलकुलेट किया है, आपका जो नंबर है, यू कैन कंपेयर इट विद योर कॉम्पिटिटर और विद द इंडस्ट्री नॉर्म्स और विद योर लास्ट ईयर्स नंबर और विद योर बजट. And this is how you will be able to figure out कि ये साल में मेरी कंपनी ने पिछले साल के मुकाबले अच्छा किया है कि अच्छा नहीं किया है. So friends, with all this, I can tell you with full confidence that you will have tremendous financial literacy. तो क्या क्या करना है? What all do we need for being an effective director on the board of a company? We ought to be financially literate. And for being financially literate, what do we need to know? We need to know, number one, what is purpose of a business, which is to create value by making ethical profit. Number two, we need to understand how the business empires are built. Business empires are built by converting resources into result and result into resources, then keep on repeating this cycle time and again forever. And this is how. Number three, we need to understand what is the lifeline of a business, and the lifeline of a business is nothing but the cash profit. What is cash profit? Cash profit, which is earned in the business from the operations and which is available with the business. So third thing is be aware of what is the lifeline of a business. Number four, 10 role and responsibilities as a director. Those 10 responsibilities, some of them is to provide vision, to give direction, to provide supervision, have a control, and all those 10 things that I have discussed with you are role and responsibility that we need to be aware all the time for being financially literate. Then we need to understand what is P&L, what is balance sheet, and what is cash flow statement. and how the ratio analysis can be used for the purpose of decision making. Friends, I'm sure if you apply all this, you will definitely be an absolutely financially literate person as far as the board position is concerned. And I'm sure you would add tremendous value to the company on whose board you would be there. And I'm sure you would definitely experience the self actualization and self realization as spoken by Maslow, as enumerated in Bhagavad Gita by Lord Krishna. So with this, I come to the close of the session. Thank you so much to every one of you. Thank you, Krishna, and thank you, Pimpri Chinchwad Education Trust, and thank you all my dear participants. Thank you so much. So Krishna, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It was an insightful session, and you explained the details about the financial literacy, the roles and responsibilities of the board of directors and the senior management also in a very simple way. You also explained that finance can be understood by a layman also. It's not rocket science, but yes, only focus has to be there. And yes, sir, you explained in detail what all things are there which are required to become a financial literate, the purpose of the business, how the business empires are built, the roles and expectations of the board of directors, and yes, what is the lifeline of a business, understanding the profit and loss account in a very simple way by explaining us by giving a simple example wherein an organization is doing a turnover and generating the revenue of say 300 crores. So how it becomes the how they get the profit of 150 crores at the end in a very simple way, sir. Simultaneously, yeah, uh, we have learned the all the roles and expectations from the board of directors. It was indeed a very learningful session for all of us. Thank you, sir. Once again, thanks, Atan, and thank you all the participants for attending such a fantastic session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Krishna. And tomorrow is our last day. So
Yes.
tomorrow we would be completing 30 days of this series. Uh, it has been really a fantastic experience, and I don't know how much participants have learned, but I can tell you I have learned a lot, and I have really enjoyed. And I would specifically like to mention presence of Sri Satish ji, who has been there for all these sessions. Satish ji, really appreciate and thank you so much for being there every day. And tomorrow, of course, we'll have the last session. So thank you so much to every one of you. I don't see there are any questions, uh, Krishna. I don't see. Is there any
No,
question
sir.
from anyone?
No, sir. We don't have any question from any participants.
No
But
question.
just one
Okay.
thing I just wanted to say, sir, being a marketing guy, and though I have spent more than a decade into the sales and marketing, I work with clients Jio Infocom Limited, Samsung Electronics, Idea, and Vodafone also. So mostly into the telecom and the consumer durable industry. So I used to, sir, learn and hear the terminologies like EBITDA. So today, by giving a simple example of an organization doing the turnover of 3,000 million Indian rupees. So what all factors are there in terms of calculating the EBITDA and the final profit, net profit for the organization? You explained it in a very simple way, sir, that I could not learn in my industry stint also. So I'm really thankful for that, sir. And I believe that all the participants have been enjoying your sessions, have learned a
Yes,
lot,
sir.
and definitely we will be having many more such kind of associations. And thanks, Atan, sir.
It
I mean, my words are not enough
it
to express my
it was
gratitude.
it was very wonderful and informative session and very simplified. I have understood the accounts in a very perfect way now. Thank
Yes,
you,
sir.
sir. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, Satish
sir.
sir,
Thank
for
you.
being
Thank
a
you.
constant support for us by attending all our sessions. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, Atan
Thank you.
Pramod, sir. Thank you, all the participants.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.